going to start in a couple minutes here, just waiting for, I know there's a few people that will be joining that have confirmed, actually quite a few people. So I'm just going to wait and see where they are. And hey, you, where are you coming in from? I've got Facebook and Instagram going at in two different spots here. So if it looks like I'm distracted, I am sort of. So if you're in the closed Facebook group, let me know who's there, because it doesn't show me who's there. Lisa, I see you now. I'm just going to wait 30 more seconds before I start. And then we'll dive right in, because we've got a lot to cover today. I'm curious if anyone had an issue trying to join in. Hi, Heather. Trying to join in the Facebook group, because I've had a few people saying that their request was pending, but they're not showing that they're there. So, Charlie, oh, I miss you. Okay. Let's just dive right in, because I wanted to start at 10 and be respectful of you guys' time. I think we'll probably be about a half an hour, and I want you to feel free to throw comments in so that if I can answer anything along the way, I will. And if you just want to quietly sit back and watch, then that's perfectly okay as well. You might find that taking notes will really help today, because like I said, I'm going to cover quite a bit of information. So the first thing I want to share with you is that I pulled a card before we started today, and it says, I have come to this planet to learn to love myself more and to share that love with all of those around me, which is kind of cool, because this is sort of what this chat today is about. And before I actually dive into all the information that I wanted to share with you, I'm going to start by reading something that I wrote specifically for you. If you're here today, then you are meant to be here. This is not coincidence. You're ready to hear this information. And this is written specifically for you. So it goes, a divine warrior is ready to let go of the past by stepping out of the box she no longer fits in. She values deliberate and imperfect action. She values courage and vulnerability, wisdom and intuition, and lastly, collaboration and community. She is free from judgment, from excuses, from blaming, and from competition with her sisters. She's no longer paralyzed by her fears, silenced by her thinking, or stuck in her victim story. She collaborates and she supports and she shares. She grows wings with her sisters, she straightens their crowns, and she wipes their tears. A divine gifted warrior uses her voice to tap into her greatness, even in the face of fear, and she shares her purpose with the world. She's unapologetically and fearlessly unstoppable as she takes her divine gifts out into the world. So that is for you. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to write down or think about, what is your greatest gift? What do you believe your greatest gift is? And you're not allowed to say being a mom, although that might be like right up there. Let's maybe challenge you to go a little deeper than that. If you want to share, that would be great. And if not, that's no problem too. So I'm going to let you know what it is that's motivated me to do these lives, and this one in particular, because this first one is a really important one, because it's going to be about sharing sort of my story, how I got to be where I am today, in terms of this spiritual journey that I'm on, or the ascension. So this particular one is about hiding your gifts, and I want to share this with you because I know I'm really, really good at hiding my gifts. I'm actually really, really good at hiding, period. Vision. Or listening. I like vision. So when I was young, I moved around a lot. So by the time I moved here at 27, this was the 14th town that I've lived in. So every 2 years I moved as a kid, because my dad was RCMP, and my parents decided that they loved the idea of being adventurous, nomadic people. So they would move to the most remote of remotest places. So I lived in Aklavik, in Fort Liard, in Fort Simpson, and Whitehorse, I think 3 times, in northern BC, in northern Alberta, and the lower mainland, and Saskatchewan. So every 2 years as a kid, I moved. And in every town I lived in, most places I went to 2 schools, except for the last place that I lived in where mom and dad were kind enough to say, oh no, we're going to let you stay in the same school for all 4 years. So what I learned from a very young age is that A, I don't fit in. B, I'm an outsider. C, I'm different. D, I'm not accepted. I'm always going to be judged. I'm always going to be that kid on the outside looking in. And from a very young age, when you start to learn that this is how it is, that people are going to judge you, that they're going to criticize you, that they're going to reject you, that they're going to leave you out, they're going to mock you because you are the outsider, you learn to stay really quiet and really small from a very young age. And that's something I learned how to do really, really well, was to not to shine bright in any way at all, just fly low under the radar. And I carried that gift of hiding right up into my adulthood, right up until like fairly recently. So when I ask you to consider what your gift is, your greatest gift to the world, the thing that I want you to consider is that unless you're crystal clear on what your gift is, then you're going to have a sense of a little bit of a disconnect, or a feeling of disconnect. Like I can't quite figure it out. So the spiritual law of clarity says this: when you are crystal clear on what you desire, the universe picks up the message and responds accordingly. Manifest from the inside out. So manifest the experience, not the external thing. Manifest the emotion that's attached to the dream come true. We call this mature manifestation. And again, from a very young age, I figured out that I was meant to do something bigger than who I am and what it was I was doing. And I don't mean that with an ounce of arrogance. There's no arrogance at all to spinning a wheel around in a circle wondering what the frig is it that I'm supposed to be doing. It didn't matter how successful or how well I was doing in anything I did. I knew that's not what I was meant to do. And I always felt like the thing that I was meant to do was bigger than who I was. So vision boards were always really interesting for me because all my friends were doing vision boards and I could never figure out the vision board thing, because that to me was manifesting stuff. It was manifesting items. It was manifesting experiences. It was manifesting adventures. It was manifesting stuff that didn't matter to me. I didn't give a shit about any of that stuff. I didn't care how big my car was or how big my house was, or that stuff just naturally happened. What I cared about was sharing with the world. I knew in my heart of hearts that the thing that I wanted to manifest was helping other people. So when you consider your manifesting as being an emotion tied to the dream come true, it completely changes the way you manifest. So for me, I know my greatest gift is leadership, with shadow gifts of intuition and collaboration. And choking live. So when I'm manifesting anything, I'm always coming from a place of leadership and collaboration, intuition, love, and the rest just happens. It just happens. So the next question I would invite you to consider is how you hide that gift from the world. So I see a vision and I see listening. I know some of you that are watching right now, and I have a pretty good idea of what your gift is, regardless of whether you know it or not. So the question is, how do you hide it? How do you hide your gift from the world? Some of you may have no clue that you're hiding it from the gift. Well, from the world. You might actually know that you're not taking your gift out into the world, but you don't know how it is that you hide it. So I'll share with you how I hide mine and see if that helps. So because I'm really good at playing small and dimming my light and not shining too brightly and being quiet and not being too sparkly and not being too shiny and not being too happy and not being too wise and not being too intuitive, I've learned to hide that by being addicted to being busy. And I am the queen of to-do lists. Like, I love to-do lists, and I guarantee you, if it's on my to-do list, it'll be done by the end of the day. And it won't necessarily be done perfectly because I don't care about perfection. It has to get off the list. So I love to-do lists, and I love being busy because it distracts me from my gift, which is leadership and intuition and collaboration. I also hide my gifts by drinking white wine because I love white wine, but I know if I have one glass of white wine, I have no motivation to do anything except sit there and watch the clouds go by and maybe watch a tomato grow on the vine. So I've learned that I've got these very predictable strategies to hide my gift because it works really well. I can stay in the back of my cave and I don't have to worry about being seen. So I'm going to give you some other examples that are very common for how people hide their gifts from the world. So perfectionism and procrastination, which very often live in the same box, are very, very common ways that women and men, people that are on their spiritual ascension, will hide their gift from the world. Blaming, excuses, and victim stories or stories are another way that people very often will hide their gift from the world. Oh, but when, oh, I can't because, oh, if that, oh, no more, that person wouldn't. Those types of stories, they all keep us playing small and keep you from hiding whatever it is that you're meant to take out to the world. Simple things like shopping addictions, Amazon addictions, alcohol, drugs, sex, those kind of things. They're just distractions away from the thing that is most important, the thing that you're meant to do, the level at which you're meant to shine, the energetic floor you're meant to move up to. Binge watching Netflix and TV is super common. I hear that one all the time. And then the other one that's a little bit more subtle that I see a lot of is, I call it poser syndrome, or hiding behind an image. And that image might be a body image, like, you have to look a certain way all the time. You can't leave your house unless your house, hiding behind perfection of your house, everything from the external part of your house, every square inch of your house is perfect. And a lot of times what that is a way to hide the chaos that's going on in your mind, the dissatisfaction, your job, your relationships. They kind of can all fall under poser syndrome. Hi, Colleen. Or image. Hi, Paulo. And I'm sorry, Simo Nolson visitor. Hi, guys, on Instagram as well. So there's all different ways that you can hide your gift from the world. And I'd love for you to share with me if I didn't list one that's very common that you can think of, just pop it into the chat box there and let us know, because someone else might be doing the same thing and not realize, oh, that's me. Yeah. Yay. So the next step, so we've identified what our greatest gift is, getting crystal clear based on the law of clarity, the spiritual law of clarity. Then we're going to identify how we're hiding our gift from the world. And then the third part, there's a great saying that I love, that says, the cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. And I know for me, the cave that I hide in is a fear of being seen, a fear of being too bright, too shiny, too much this, too much that, whatever the too much happens to be. It's really easy to stay at the back of the cave because it's safe. It's safe back there. But the problem is I can't hide my gift, which is leadership and intuition and collaboration, from the back of the freaking cave. So some people have a fear of success and people have a fear of failure. I actually have a little bit of a fear of success. If I'm too successful, then I'm going to be too bright. It's going to be too shiny. I'm going to be too seen. All that shit that's attached to that story that started when I was this big because I moved every 2 years. It's boring. My story's boring. You could have a fear of not knowing how, a fear of if or when, a fear of looking stupid, a fear of being rejected or judged. That was a huge one for me. A fear of imposter syndrome, which is something I'll talk about another time. A lot of people have a fear of changing or growing or leaving people behind, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Because a lot of you people that are on your spiritual ascension, there is a fear of what happens with the people around me that don't get it, that don't understand I'm no longer the person that I once was. So the next piece that we're going to talk about is what that fear and what the hiding is costing you, and what is the emotional price tag. Ainsley MacLeod, who just released the book, The Old Soul's Guide, which is a fantastic book, says your emotions are the voice of your soul. So what emotional price tag is attached to your fear of taking your gift out into the world? I can tell you mine, and it might, if it helps or if it resonates, cool, but you will all know what your fear is, so, or what your emotion is. So my emotion was disconnect, dissatisfaction, mediocrity, boredom, pessimism, frustration, and a tremendous amount of confusion, because I would wake up every day like, I know I'm meant to do something bigger than what I am. What the frig is it? I kind of have this one word that I really like that starts with an F, because my dad's from Cape Breton and my mom's from Mexico, and it's just a common word, but I'm going to try really hard not to say that word. So, so the emotion that's the emotional price tag that's attached to the fear of taking your gift out into the world, hi Sue, is, hope you're enjoying Kelowna, is disconnect, dissatisfaction, mediocrity, boredom, pessimism, frustration. Does that resonate with anyone? Yeah. So I'm going to talk about a little bit now about that idea of the people that are that you are surrounded by that might not get that you are on a spiritual transformational journey or ascension. And I'm going to share through the story about my husband, Tim. And it's an awesome story, so stay with me on this. So the first year that my husband and I were, well, the first year that we were married and he had moved out here, I had a gifted reading with an amazing gifted reader, and it was brilliant. It was so brilliant that I wanted him to have a gifted reading, and he was like, yeah, I want to have a gifted reading. So he had a gifted reading. And sorry, let me back up. I had my gifted reading, and in my gifted reading, at the end of it, she said to me, I said, tell me about my husband. So she said, let me see a picture. So I showed her a picture of my husband, and all she said to me was, he loves you more than anything on this planet. Don't leave him behind. And I have no idea what that means. Like, what do you mean? Like, don't leave him at the Canadian Tire when the truck is full? Like, start the car. So I had no clue what that meant. Hi, Colleen. I see you on both. Oh no, Colleen, two different Colleens. Hi. So I had no idea what that meant. Don't leave him behind. But I was like, okay, I won't leave him behind. So I've learned as time has gone on, he is at a very different place on his spiritual journey. And we could talk about different levels of souls, but I think that might be another conversation. I'm pretty clear where he is on his soul level journey, and we're very far apart. That does not mean that we're not connected. But what I realize now, 8 years later, is that what she was trying to say to me is, in your spiritual development and ascension and journey, do not leave your husband behind, because he's meant to be a part of this journey. He is there to support you on your journey, and you're there to bring him along. So the cool thing, the reason I share this story with you, and I'm covered in goosebumps right now, which always happens when I land on a truth, is you want to try to take people along with you on your spiritual journey. And you do that simply by growing. As you grow, people in your orbit will either grow or they will leave. That's just how it goes. They will naturally, you will lift them up. It's like you're passing the baton, like you're creating a wave. As you grow and as you expand and as you change and as you evolve and as you ascend, you naturally take the people around you with you. And I don't mean through the power of preaching or telling. They will watch, and vicariously you will bring them along with you. I love the saying that everyone comes into your life for a season or a reason or a lifetime. And I'm pretty sure you can look at all the people, the important people in your life, your family members, your friends, your coworkers, whatever it happens to be, and you can identify who is in your life for a season, who's there for a reason, and who is there for a lifetime. And your lifetime soulmates, the people that you have connected with, actually, I'm just going to retract. Blah, blah, blah. So the people that you are most connected to, you do not have to see them every single day of the week. You don't even have to see them once a month or twice a year. You just know when you see them, it's an instantaneous connection. That person, those people are meant to be in your life for a lifetime. The people that come into your life that cause you a lot of turmoil and frustration and hurt and anxiety, consider that they're there for a reason. You're meant to learn something from them. So I share this information with you because I know that that is a big fear that I had and that a lot of people have, is what do I do with the people around me? I'm in this pocket now where I'm no longer the person I once was, but I'm not quite the person that I'm meant to be. And I'm afraid that if I move too much forward, I'm going to leave all these people behind. And I invite you to consider that the beauty of your evolution is to bring people along with you on your journey. Here's the thing that's most important that I wanted to share with you guys today, is that you matter, your voice matters, your gift is undeniable and is incredibly important that you take it out into the world. Your spiritual transformation matters and your purpose matters. The biggest thing you need to move out of the way is yourself. If you can get out of the way of your own ascension or your gift or your purpose, the rest is easy. It will just happen. You manifest from a place of emotion rather than things and stuff. You'll find all of a sudden things will start to shift. So I'm going to leave you with 2 questions. Is your greatest gift actually bigger than what you identified at the beginning of this chat? And if so, are you just playing safe with your gift? And what is the one thing you're avoiding doing in life? That will allow you to consider the first step of your messy and deliberate and imperfect action, which a lot of people will go, imperfect? No, I can't do it unless I've got it all figured out. Fuck that. Just do it. So I'm going to be sharing, I'm going to say at least 2, if not 3 live masterclasses a month from a place of generosity and gratitude for where I am. One thing that I've learned on this spiritual journey is that our job is to bring other people along. So I might be 2 steps ahead of you. I might be 3 steps ahead of you. You might be 2 steps ahead of me. And it doesn't matter. What we're doing is we're creating a wave of people that are moving upward and outward and expanding and growing. That's all that matters. That's what these live classes are going to be for. And they're always going to be hopefully just in the Voice of Choice closed Facebook group, but we'll see how that goes. So before I go, I'm just going to share with you the one big program that I'm working on. And I'm not doing this because I'm trying to sell you on anything. For anyone that's meant to hear this, they will hear this. They're in the pocket. They're where they're meant to be. And they're meant to hear this message. So the program that I'm rolling out at the beginning of October is called the Divine Warriors Transformate. It's a spiritual transformation program where you'll actually have to declare your breakthrough, your transformation, and a major project that you're going to take out into the world. It could be anything. It could be a book, could be a marathon, could be having a child, it could be adopting a child, it could be creating a podcast, it could be anything. And it's based on 3 pillars. The 3 pillars are the past, the present, the future. The past has 6 modules, the present has 6 modules, and the future has 6 modules. And the future includes creating your imperfect divine side hustle. So it's going to be really cool. I'm only going to work with 9 women at a time, and you can enroll anytime, which is the part that I love. So someone might start on October 1st, someone else might start on October 20th. It doesn't matter. You're self-paced. The only thing is we're together for 10 hours a month. Coaching, but it's done in our group setting. So I'm going to pop the link in there just in case anyone's interested. But regardless, I am in love with doing these lives because I feel like I finally get to share everything that I've learned from a place of pure generosity, and you can do whatever you want to do with that information. Share it with whomever you feel like you want to share it with, and be on your journey at the pace that's perfect for you. So I am super honored that you guys took the time to be here today, and I'd love any comments that you might have. You can pop into the Fit Clothes Facebook page at the end of this or in the Instagram. And I just want to wish you all a great day. I hope you'll really think about what your greatest gift is, how you're hiding it from the world, and the emotion that's attached to it, because that's all of a sudden going to give you a little, it's going to open the door a little bit and give you some clarity around what it is that you're doing that's keeping you from doing what it is you're meant to do. That was good, actually. That last one was good. Couldn't repeat that if I tried. Anyways, thank you everybody for being here. The next one is Thursday at 4 o'clock, and we're going to talk about how you are actually numbing your potential, which is allowing you to keep your gift hidden. So we'll see you on Thursday at 4. Charlene, I miss you. Bye, hun. Thank you everyone for being here today. And I'll talk to you soon.